The Hemicuda Rally is an event that holds great memories for the team. Last year, Scott Barnes and Andy Hall picked up their first class win in Belgium on the event, and also their first overall win in the Flanders International Rally Challenge. This year, Scott returns with a new nav in the hot seat, another Andy, Mr. Hollingham stepping on board. It will be Andy's first time in Belgium since the accident with me on the Ypres Rally, but he's looking forward to jumping in the screaming 106. After Scott put in an almighty shift to get the 106 fixed after his visit to a ditch on the Omloop Van Vlaanderen, he'll be hoping for a clean run on the Keukelara based event. Let's get into it.
Okay, so Hemicuda Rally, 10 stages, one on Saturday night, 107 stage kilometres, 130 cars on the entry list, all based out of Keukelara. It's a great event to go and do. They love having the international entries come over, really well accommodating, and it was one of our favourite events from last year. It started really putting in a ditch in Omloop Van Vlaanderen. I was of the opinion that we wouldn't be able to fix the car in time to get back out this season, but once we got home and started taking the car to bits, you know, it was all systems go to try and get it back together. There was lots of bits to fix, so that was 6 very short weeks. Certainly for me, 6 weeks of stress and long hours between work and then coming home and working on the car. I just didn't stop. It was a massive effort. Lots of people came and helped out, which meant that the car was back together and that we could put it on the trailer and get out to Belgium and have a go at picking up some more points for the FIRC.
This is my first outing with Scott in the Rapid 106, and it was quite a nice throwback actually, because me and Bill started in the 106. It was nice to sort of get back into one and just see how Scott's developed it into this absolute weapon of a kit car sort of maxi style thing, which I absolutely love. It was the first time since the accident in Ypres. The closer it got, the more it kind of started kicking a little bit. Yeah, I think we were both desperate to kind of get the first stage out of the way pretty quickly. So it was nice that it was just one stage on Saturday, which eased us in.
So we're just queuing up to go through the first main time control. Quite anxious and nervous at this point of every rally. Gets worse and worse, but I'm sure once we get off the start on stage one, all those nerves will settle and can get into a nice flow.
Yeah, I think like you say, we just get through tonight, settle ourselves in. We've got a few little bits to overcome and go again tomorrow and attack.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a short 10k run out to stage one, and the car was fine, spot on. A little bit of tyre warming, a little bit of brake warming.
On the way to the stage, the car felt brilliant, really. A car driving in a straight line, braking in a straight line. Everything felt fine. There was nothing to be worried about.
We got to the start of stage one. I don't know, I feel like I was perhaps more nervous than I realised. I'm quite a calm person in the car, especially stage one. But I leant out to turn the camera on and start recording. Noticed my hand was shaking a little bit. And I was like, that's interesting. But still, we joined the queue. We were on the start line. And then that's kind of where it went downhill a little bit, unfortunately. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 go, and the car just dropped instantly onto 3 cylinders. So all those worries turned into frustration and what the hell's going on with the car, really.
We didn't even do one wheel revolution before the engine was already saying, no, you're not having any of this. We kept going. The car obviously really down on power, but it didn't feel like the engine was particularly damaged, so we kept on going through the stage. We got through that stage on 3 cylinders. We pulled up just outside the control, opened the bonnet just to see if I could figure out why it dropped onto 3 cylinders, check the HT leads and all the connections, make sure everything was as it should be. Couldn't find any issues. Had also noticed that one of the drive shafts had popped out during that stage. So managed to push the drive shaft back in for the road section back to service.
We dragged it back to service and the boys jumped straight on it. Fair play to them. Honestly, they worked so well. Man Bill cracking on with the drive shaft, getting that sorted.
Bob was under the bonnet trying to diagnose the misfire, starting with the basics, spark plugs, coil pack, HT leads, no issues there. Moving on to fueling, found one of the injectors wasn't firing, so pulled the injector out and tested it and it was okay. So put the injector back in and then found that one of the wires to the injectors had broken, a very, very uncommon fault. But after putting a new connector on, plugging it back in, the car was up on 4 cylinders again. So with the car half put back together, but in a drivable state, we jumped in the car and sent to Part Ferme.
We did unfortunately pick up 2.5 minutes worth of penalties because we were late to Part Ferme, but the main thing was that we got the car sorted and ready for the next day so we could have a full-on attack on the 9 stages on Sunday. But yeah, full credit to the boys. Without them we would have been done and out after stage 1 that night.
How am I feeling? Like I need a bit more luck, to be honest. Rallying's not luck, it's all in the preparation. Really, like, you prepare well, you shouldn't have any problems, but I seem to be able to change that sort of philosophy, because I prep everything to the nth degree and still we have these little problems. So yeah, annoying, downhearting, I suppose. After we were late into Part Ferme and with our penalty applied, our position overnight was 115th overall and 12th in class, which is certainly not where we wanted to be.
Yeah, we were basically last going into Sunday, so that was going to be an interesting day for sure that laid ahead of us.
Sunday morning we got dropped off at Part Ferme to collect the car. Obviously it still had a few bits to put back on. We had a 20-minute service first thing in the morning. The guys put the car back together, ready for the day ahead. Me and Andy jumped in the car and headed out to the first stage. Unfortunately, when we got to the first stage, it had been cancelled due to an accident with a competitor that had gone through in front of us.
Sadly, it was another Subaru that had quite a big off, managed to wipe out a concrete lamppost, so hopefully the guys are okay. After stage 2 was cancelled, which was the first stage of Sunday, my job wasn't over, so I had to follow the alternative route, which it's something you never want to do, and it's something you always feel unprepared for, but the Belgians, they do it so well, it was just so easy to kind of get to the next stage. my god, that 106, it shifts. It was nice to get that stage done at full speed. We had a good run through, and likewise we had a very good run on stage 4.
So into first service, obviously had no issues. We checked the drive shaft again, the drive shaft was still good. Gave the car a good spanner check and a good check over. Everything seemed to be okay. So we put a set of the soft tyres on and headed back out for the second loop. This was the stage that was cancelled earlier in the day, so this is the first time that we'd seen this particular stage this year. We got through there 19th fastest into the top 20, and it felt like we were absolutely back on a good pace. We pushed through the second loop, again no issues. We had a really clean loop of stages and just sort of building confidence. End of the second loop, we're up to 45th overall and 6th in class 3F.
Right, so where are we at? We're en route, just leaving service for the last loop of stages. The previous loop went really well. This loop is absolutely, let's just get to the end.
Hopefully the rain holds off as well. It's spitting ever so slightly. We've gone for soft. Fingers crossed it stays away, but you know how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. We've chosen now, the loop's a couple hours long. It's not raining here now, although it kind of feels like it in the air. So the rally's so spread out, we could very well have a wet stage in this loop. So we'll just have to keep it on the black stuff, and if we have to back out of it, it's no problem.
Yeah.
Knowing that the rain was coming for the afternoon, and it was whilst it was still dry, we kind of pushed on a bit in stage 8 and had a real good crack at it. And to our surprise, we were actually 16th overall, which was great. We were chuffed with that. It was a hell of a ride, I can tell you that for sure.
to the second stage of the loop, it was still not raining, it was still dry. But just as we pulled into the time control at the start of Halter stage, the heavens opened, and within a couple of minutes, it went from completely dry road to completely wet road with standing water. And of course, we're sat there on slicks that have now cooled down from the long road section, and it was going to be a struggle.
Shiny tarmac in Belgium is slippy, even on wets. So shiny tarmac in the wet with slicks is like driving on ice. And we knew this, we knew the stage had a lot of shiny tarmac. The decision was kind of made to just see it through to the end of the stage, and just, you know, we didn't want to put it off this late in the day after all the hard work that everyone had put on and into the car and getting us through the service. We just wanted to bring it home for a good result.
We managed to clear that stage and come through unscathed, although we did drop a lot of time to the cars that we were trying to catch on the podium for our class that had gone through it in the dry.
So we're in regrip now. Heavens have opened on us, and typically we're on slicks. So that last stage was survival really. The shiny tarmac was like ice, but we got through. We're still going. That's the main thing. We want the result now, so just see this last stage through. We made a good charge back up the leaderboard. I think nearly 80 positions. So it's not all doom and gloom, but yeah, one to go. The last stage was also in the wet, but there was a lot more concrete in there and less shiny tarmac, so we were still backed off. We were still driving with a little bit in reserve, but we had a good push in the places we know we could, and to our surprise we were 18th quickest on slicks in the wet.
And because of that, we managed to have clawed our way from the 115th we started the day all the way up to 32nd overall, and we finished third in our class on the podium. We couldn't believe that we'd managed to claw back that many places in a day. It kind of shows what could have been.
It was nice for me personally, and I know it was also great for Scott. He got a good haul of championship points, but yeah, after Ypres, getting a finish and a good result was just what I needed. Big thanks to Scott for having me in the car, that's for sure. It settled a few nerves, and the hunger is definitely there to get back out on the stages.
I think we're done.